Hi guys, good morning. I am Sumathi from Zoology Department. Right now, today we have discussed about the topic Biology of Invertebrates and Chordates. This unit also covered in a allied zoology students. First BSc Chemistry student. Next. This is our topic, elaboration topic. You know very well about how many phylum is there, that's very important. Phylum Protosova, Porifera, Plactical Minthus, Ascal Minthus, Annelida, Arthropoda, Echinodermata, everything also very interesting topic. First we have to know about the phylum Protosova. Why we know about phylum Protosova? Phylum Protosova is a single celled animal. Then so many examples available in phylum Protosova. Amoeba, that is one of the phylum Protosova. What is the peculiar characters in amoeba? That is they have to changes the shapes oftenly. At the same time, the Protozoan example in your syllabus, it is covered. Only the one example is a Paramecium. Another one of the phylum Porifera. You know this Porifera is a phylum. It contains a pores. Pores means holes in the body. It used to observing the water particles in the pores. So we have to study about the phylum Porifera. Before that we have to know about what is phylum, class, order and species name. The Paramecium is a species, Paramecium chordatum. And the Porifera in your syllabus, the example is ascan sponge only. The cycon sponge in so many species is available in Porifera. Just we have to know about this module, Protosova and Porifera, the special animal Paramecium and also ascan sponge for full organization and life history also. Next, this is a Paramecium species. Paramecium name is a Paramecium chordatum and the phylum is a Protosova, class is a Ciliophora, order is a Holotricha and species is a Paramecium. Species name Paramecium chordatum. This species name just you have to note that all the species name is here italics. We have to written in the italic. Just you keep it your mind. Don't forget. First letter is a capital and the second letter is a small letter. That is a Paramecium chordatum. The class is a Ciliophora. Why we call it Ciliophora means this animal, the body is fully covered with cilia. The cilia is the main part of this animal. It is mainly used for locomotions. Locomotion means it moves from one place to another place. So the class is a Ciliophora. Order is a Holotricha. After that, next slide also I will explain why we call it this shape of the animal. This is a structure. Just we can see through the microscopy. We can see this type of structure in the Paramecium chordatum, that is a Paramecium species. Next. Already I told you the Paramecium is a protozoan species, that is a Paramecium is always called in plural Paramecia. It is a single celled animal and also the order is a protist. Why we called protist? It is fully covered by the protoplasm. So we called protist that are naturally found in a aquatic habitat. Aquatic habitat, all the animal, mostly protozoans animals also living in the water, that is called the aquatic habitat. And also the typically, what are the shape? In Paramecium is a very peculiar shape, that is a slipper shaped animal. It looks like a slipper, so it is called a slipper shaped animal. And also already I told you about the cilia. It is covered with short hairy like structure. It looks like a hair, so that structure is called cilia. The Paramecium were among the first ciliate animal. We can see in the microscopist. Microscopist means one who identify the microscopy, that is the person is called microscopist. Where they identifying this one of the particular animals is present in the water. In 17th century also they have to identify. And it is probably who identifying this animal, Anton van Leeuwenhoek, that is one of the scientists. Already you have to know about this author name. That person is called protozoology. But what is meant by protozoology? One who study about the protozoan, that person is called protozoology. For example, one who study about the ornithology, that person is called ornithologist. And this for protozoology in the scientist, Anton van Leeuwenhoek, he described the fully Paramecium. This one of the animal is present in the aquatic animals. and also he published the paper also in 1678. Next, this is the external structure. One picture is showed, that is microscopically, just we have to see that picture. After we have to explaining all the parts. What are the parts is available in the part of the Paramecium. That is it, already I told you, it is covered by the hairy substance that is called cilia, and also it is covered the thin cuticle layer. That layer is a protoplasmic layer, it's called pellicle. Another important part is a oral groove, otherwise called vestibulum. What is the role of oral groove? The oral groove is used to act as a mouth in taking of the food material through oral groove, and also you can see the small round like structure, that is fully yellow color structure, that is called food vacuoles. The food vacuoles, food is entered to the mouth, and also buccal overtures, or the buccal overture means buccal cavity, that is a oral grooves, and also it goes to, that is a cyclosis movement, that is a very interesting to intaking of the food material. It absorbing the water also entering the animal, and also it going to the all over the body. After that, intaking of food material remaining also ejected. The food vacuoles is the first one is a large size, and it goes to small size. That is a cyclosis movement, that is a cyclic movement, that's all. That is a cell mouth in buccal curvature, other oral grooves, it contain a cell mouth, and also it is otherwise called cytosome, and anal pore also. Next, fully cytoplasm is occurs in the whole body, and very important parts also present in the Paramecium, that is called two type of nucleus. One is a micronucleus, another one is a macronucleus. What is the difference between macro and micronucleus? You know very well about. Macro means large size, micro means small size. Why it is important? During binary fission reproduction, the nucleus also elongated, and also deviations, and also disappearance, they given the another animal. So that is a macronucleus, another one is a micronucleus. And also radiating canal also important, another one is a contractive vacuole. It is act as one of the organs in the body. This is the external structure of Paramecium. Next, normally Paramecium is a genus of eukaryotic unicellular and ciliate animal. It is commonly studied as a representative of the ciliate groups. And the Paramecia is widespread in where it is present in the Paramecia freshwater, brackish water, marine water, and also abundant in the basins of the pond. What is brackish water? That is, it is containing both fresh water and marine water, mixed water also called brackish water, and also estuaries water also brackish water. Next, the species Paramecium, what are the ranges? First, we have to know about the animal. We have to know external appearance, another one is a habit. Another, in class also I have to explain the external structures, habit, habitat, next reproduction, and the external part, and the internal organs, everything also we have to know about the type study. First, we have to know about the appearance also, that is a size. That is what is the size of Paramecium? Is a 50 to 330 micrometers. Micrometer, just you have to note a very minute part. We can see only through the microscopic, we cannot see the naked eye. That is a microscopic animal. Next, the cell also typically ovoid, elongate, and food or cigar shaped. That is external structures also slipper shaped. The cells also contain these type of ovoid shape, elongate shape, and food shape. Next, the body is enclosed. Already I totally explained the diagram. The body also enclosed in the pellicle. That pellicle, just we have known about what is the type of pellicles is present. The body fully is covered by the, that is enclosed by stiff but not elastic, tightly some of the substance that is called pellicle. This consists of outer cell membrane, that is otherwise called plasma membrane, and the layer is a flattened, and the membrane is also containing some sac-like structure. The sac also called alveoli. That is a membrane is called epiplasms. That is a plasm, endoplasm, another one is a epiplasm. This pellicle is not a smooth. That is a textured and hexagonal, another one is a, sometimes it may be rectangular in type also. Each of these polygons, I mean the pellicles, it is a central apertures and also single ciliums in a projection in the nature. Between the alveolar, it contains a sac. In case the sac is present in any one of the animal, it may be containing some of the fluid, that only called sac. That is a sac of pellicle, and most species of Paramecium have closely spaced the spindle shaped trichosis. That's one of the important part of Paramecium. Why we important for that trichosis containing a spike material and also a cap material and fin material. Normally what is the uses of trichosis? Already I told you the fin material. Just you have to remind what is the uses of fin, what is the uses of any one of the organs in tail region. That is a trichosis act as a offense and defense. That is a toxic filaments also, thin non-toxic filament. Why the trichosis is present? Just they have to escaping from the animals, they have to uses of the trichosis. That's all. Next, the Paramecium probably itself the some of the movement of the cilia by using cilia. They go to one place to another places, and also they have to use it of the beating of the cilia. They have to moving of the movement also called beating movement. That is the movement of what are the beating movement? Just we have to defining the two type of paces. Paces mean types, division. One is a fast effective stroke, another one is a recovery stroke. So it's going on front side and going on back side. That is called effective stroke. Another one is a recovery stroke. It is a contraction movement. That's all. During the cilium, that time also the cilium is occurring in the curl shape. One side is the sweeps and forward movement, another one is a backward movement. That type of movement, Paramecium movement, is a counterclockwise fashion. That it is a very peculiar movement. That is a counterclockwise fashion. That is a fast effective stroke, another one is a recovery stroke. After during the movement also they have to observing the food material. That time also occurring in the water current. That time also the intaking of the food material. The food material also gives the energy. Automatically all the function is doing during the fast effective strokes and the recovery strokes also. That is a very interesting, very minute animal. You have to imagine. That's very amazing. Next. Normally Paramecias feed on, like already I told you, that is a microscopic animal. They have to eating the microscopic organism, bacteria, algae and yeast. That's all. Paramecians make a movement, sweep prey organism along with the water through the oral groove, and that is a vestibulum. The food passes through the line and the oral groove into the narrow structure and the buccal cavity also. From there, the food particle is passed, small opening, that is called cytosome. In the picture also we can see the cytosome, that is in the base of the buccal cavity. That is a opening, small opening, that is called cytosome, otherwise called cell mouth. It moves from the interior of the cells. It means the capturing of the food material, intaking of the food material from the water. That's all. Next. The food is acted upon by the digestive enzyme. How the food is digested? Everybody, all the animals also have the digestive enzyme. The enzymes also act as a digestion. What are the undigested part? All the animals also have the digestion and the undigested food particles also. The undigested residues, it is not a food particle. The undigested residues ejected through the temporary anal pore, that is called cytophagy. The technical term cytophagy. Some of the Paramecium, so many Paramecium species is available. Some of the Paramecium species also act as a symbiotic relationship with green algae. You know very well about the symbiotic relationship. What is the meaning of the symbiotic relationship? They have to depend upon the food and shelter for any one of the organism. That is called a symbiotic relationship. This type of one of the Paramecium persaria, these Parameciums also depends upon the symbiotic relationship with the green algae. The algae is one of the Protosova, or one of the single celled animal. Normally the algae is present in the endosymbiont. Two type of symbiotic organism occurs, endo and ecto. Endo means inside of the organism, that is called endosymbiont. The Paramecium may be intracellular bacteria is known as kappa particle. That is one of the another portions, that is a kappa particle. The kappa particle is the ability to the some of the strain of the Paramecium. Next, and that is a nutritions of the Paramecium. They are the mostly heterotrophic nutrients, and they feed on hetero mean different type of nutrients. Why they are called heterotrophic? Homotrophic means same food material they have to eat. Heterotrophic mean why we call heterotrophic nutrients? It may be eat as bacteria, fungi, yeast, algae, so much microorganism. And also they have the holozoic nutrition. The food is laden inside the movement of the cilia and goes to the cytosome, and also it is a cytopharynx region also. The food gets loaded the posterior end region of the cytopharynx region. After that, it formation of the vacuole, and the vacuole, food vacuole is round size, and it goes to the all the body from mouth region to upper region, and mouth region again they have to ejected. It is gets surrounded by the vacuoles, pinches off and circulated the fully endoplasm. After they have to digestion is absorbing the food particle within the body. Next. This is next one of the already we have discussed about the what are the food material they have to intaking, and the nutrition is also external structure also. This is a very short explanation. After that is one of the important point, binary fissions. These slides also we have to know about the reproductive functions. There are two types of reproduction is available. One is asexual reproduction, another one is sexual reproduction. In asexual reproduction, you know, during asexual reproduction, the male and the female gamete is not participate, only the body divide. That is called asexual reproduction. During sexual reproduction, male and the female gamete is involved and produced a zygote. That is called sexual reproduction. In this slide, we have to know about binary fissions of Paramecium. This is a asexual reproduction. Without involving of the gametes, without involving of the male and the female gametes. That is this is the external structure of Paramecium. First in the blue color is known as a large size, another one is a small black color, that is a macronucleus, and micronucleus, another one is a contractive vacuole. Already I told you the macro and the micronucleus is very important in the external structure. Why? During the reproduction they have to elongate it, and the divisions also take place in the nucleus. This first A picture also showed macro and micronucleus. That is next picture B also showed the division of the macronucleus only by A mitosis. You know very well about what is the mitosis and A mitosis and meiosis also. The division of the cells, the reduction of the cells also meiosis. During mitosis, the normally cells also elongated. Another one is a mitotic spindle formed. During formation of the spindle, they have to divide into two animals. It is amazing. That is a binary fission. That time also they have to involving in male and female gamete. Next, new contractive vacuole is also present. One animal is formed to two animal. This formation of two young animals is called two daughter Paramecia. Just you have to note the name daughter Paramecia. Two animal. Normally one animal is division, nucleus, macronucleus is elongated, contractive vacuoles is formed, just they have to divide amitotically, formation of two animal, that is called binary fission. Two daughter Paramecia is formed. That is called one of the reproductive system of Paramecia. Next. This is a conjugation. This one of the reproduction. That is a asexual reproduction is a Paramecium. Sexual reproduction is called conjugation of Paramecium. The conjugation also autochemy, cytochemy and endomixis. Just you have to know about this picture. Normally the two nucleus is a diploid nucleus. Why we call it diploid nucleus? Male and female nucleus fused. Male and female nucleus fused, formation of 2N, that is called a diploid nucleus. After the meiosis undergoes, the haploid nucleus is formed, 1N, that is called haploid. After some of the cyclic movement, in D picture also explaining the remaining of the micronucleus divided into the mitosis. Next it goes to the syncamy. Next it goes to the Next micronucleus. Upper 2 micronucleus is formation of third round, the disintegration of the nucleus and formation of 4 micronucleus. The 4 nucleus is formation of 4 Paramecia. You have to note 4 Paramecia. The Paramecia during disintegration of the nucleus, formation of 4 nucleus, that is a 4 daughter Paramecium is formed. After that, they have to complete the conjugations, autogamy, cytogamy, another one is endomixis, the formation of the sexual reproduction. Next, the reproduction we have to explain the dual nuclear apparatus and the non-reproductive cells. That is here the sole mode of reproduction, that is a ciliate and a conjugated cell. The material fully passed on to the generation, and the next it also formed. The phenomenon is very, very important of the polyploid of the macro and the micronucleus. Next, the Paramecium reproduction already I told you, just I have to explain in the running matter, that is asexual reproduction, the binary fission and the sexual reproduction. The binary fission is divided cells transversely, not horizontally, transversely, and followed by the mitotic division, macronucleus, and all the materials also divided into 2 half of the cells. That time we have to note, we don't forget the contract, what is the oral apparatus, role of the oral apparatus during reproduction. The oral apparatus is disappear. Why the oral apparatus disappear? After that, how to take the food material? They cannot take the food material during the reproduction. Just you have to know, oral apparatus is disappear during reproduction. They didn't take any one of the food material during reproduction. Next, the one stages. What are the stages? Already I told you, the meiosis and the disintegrate of the nucleus, androgosia mitosis, after the cells are separate and the macronucleus are elongated and also disintegrate, they have to form a new disintegration of the nucleus. Next, sexual reproductions, the Paramecia, the both cells are the micronucleus cells are disappear and the formation of new cells, and the haploid nucleus of each conjugant then fused together to form a diploid micronucleus. That time also cross fertilization is take place. What is mean by cross fertilization? Just they have to transfer from one body to another body, that is a cross fertilization is take place. The conjugant is separate. The first formation of that conjugant is called X conjugant, that is identical and different from the earlier cells, and also it undergoes a division and formation of 4 daughter nuclei. X conjugant, another one is a conjugant. After that, they have to form a daughter nuclei. Next, during fissions, the macronucleus split in the type of amitosis, and the micronucleus undergoes a mitosis stages in various macronucleus and micronucleus. The fusions, it may be occur in the spontaneously, that is a next the vegetative cells also involved, they do the functions in after autogamy, endomixis, cytomixis, everything. The new cells is formed some of the hours after intake of the food material, automatically they do the functions in the all the Paramecium. Immediately they have to following of the matting and temporarily exchanging of the genetic materials within the cells. Next, this is another topic, interesting topic. Already I told you the Protosova, the Paramecium is over. This is a new topic, the phylum Porifera, the sponges and the animals also example, Cycon sponge. That is Animalia, Porifera, Calcarea, Heterozoa and the family Chordates. That is a species, genus also Skyphod, that is Skypon sponge. These animals contain some of the pores. Next, this is the external structures of the sponge. This Ascan sponge is a species name is Leucosolenia. That is a Leucosolenia, the type of sponges have the pores in the body, and it is containing some peculiar character of parts, that is a asculum, spicule, porocyte, ostia, gonocyte, everything also amoebocyte, spongiocyte, everything, all the parts also importance. Why this part is important? This ostia also contain a water current, that is a canal system in the body. In taking of the food material, the water is entered to the body, they have to observing the food material, that is a canal system in the body. So the osculum and spicule, everything also part of the intaking of the food material. Next. This is a cross sections of the sponges. Why we know about what is the importance of this one? Water, and this picture shows the water enter to the body. The gonocyte and the flagellum also act as a sucking of the water. The water flows through the porocyte. Under entering of the spicule, the spongoceles observing the water, at the same time the ostia and the sporocyte expelling the water, and that is here it is covered by the layer that is called epidermis, and the aquocyst one of the cells, that is a amoebocyte, mesenchymal cell, that is a mesenchymal cell, that is a spongocele. Everything also they have to participate of the food particles and also living system. All the cells also have the peculiar part in the oscan sponge. Next, what is the different characters of the porifera? Normally porifera have the pores of the animal. The pores also using of the observing of the food particles and engulfing of the food, and also using the water current. The sponge, it is a sponge like structure. It is helpful to the circulation of the water. It lives in the marine aquatic organism. It grows in the look like very small plant. That is a sponge's nature. But what are the shapes available? Cylindrical shape, round shape, vase shape, and also presence of pores. You know very well about the flower vase. That is a shape of the sponge's shape. And also the pores are arranged in the symmetrical as well as asymmetrical in nature. So what is mean by symmetrical? Just we have to cutting the animal, it is a two half is a same, that is called a symmetrical nature. It is a some of the animals also asymmetrical nature. The entire development will be done inside the body, inside only, so that all the cells also peculiar part in that one. What are the reproductive system of both? They have the both sexual and asexual reproduction also. But this reproduction, it is called budding, that is a asexual reproduction. The sponges can prepare their own food as well as eat other organism, that is the preparation of own food, and eat the organisms in remaining organisms also, observing the organism and capturing organism also. Next. The nutrients, the intake of food material is a holozoic and multicellular organism. The excretory and respiratory system are absent. There is no peculiar excretory system and respiratory system also. The diffusion process is take place in the body. They have to diffuse, so they have not yet any one of the respiratory organ is not present. It can regenerate power automatically, and also it is a vital role in the sponges. It can reproduce undertaking the budding process as well as the fragmentation process. The sexual process is a combination of, already I told you, ova and sperm also involving to producing the sexual reproduction, like common in all other species. Next. The sponges is a fragment and regenerate, and new sponges and freshwater sponges as well as few marine species and gemmules are also formed. That is one of the important characters. That is a larva are flattened and can swim freely for period of the time. And larva is developed in the juvenile sponges, and that is a very important two type of larva is produced. Next. Canal system, already I told you about canal system, that is a circulatory system, and the sponges, that is a canal system entering of the water in porifera that help of the respiratory of the gases and excretion. Already I told you there is no separate respiratory system. Normally in the canal system also they have to engulfing of the air. And the numerous perforation of the body and the sponges of the erection of the water current, the constitution of the canal system. Inside the body, the water current flows through the certain system and spaces. The food material is captured from the incoming water, and the excretory materials also out to outgoing water. The excretory material automatically released from the body. Next, this slide shows what are the water current plays a vital role in the physiology of the sponges, and all the exchanging between the sponges, external medium maintained by the water current, and also excretory are taken the body, the help of the water current, reproduction body of the sponges of the water current also. Next. This is a cross section of the sponges. Already I have explaining this cross section. Next, this is a very important part in the ascan sponge, Leucosolania. Depends upon the spicule. We have to deviated monoaxon, diaxon, triaxon, tetraxon, hexaaxon. Another one is a polyaxon. Now, what are the difference between these one? The single cells is called mono, single spicule, trispicule, trispicules. The spicule's role is a spine particle, that is a triaxon, and hexa. Hexa means 5, more 6, more than 5. That is a hexaxon. These spicules tetraxon. Tetra means 4, only 4. Monoaxon, triaxon, tetraxon, hexon. Other hexaaxon. This is a spicule present in the ascan sponge. Next. This is a type, we have to know about the reproductive system of the ascan sponge. First, they have to form a male and a female gamete is fused, formation of the zygote. After the zygote formation, the cell division occurs, cleavage also occurs. That is a very interesting. 2 cells is formed, next 4 cells formed, next 16 cells formed, next 32 cells formed. After formation of 32 cells, they have to formation of the morula stage and the blastocyst stage. They have to formation of archaeocyte or plastocele. That archaeocytes and plastocele, they have to developing the very interesting, that is a larva, amphiblastola larva. Another one is a parenchyma larva. There are 2 type of larva is developed from the ascan sponge. That's very important. Next, life cycle. There's a sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction. They have to form a germ cell and develop in the different animals from the mother animals. Next. This is a external structure of parenchymal larva, another one is a amphiblastola larva. The parenchymal larva also inner cell moss also contain. Why the inner cell moss is contained? After developing the 32 cell stage, they have to developing the inner moss of cells, that is a parenchymal cells, and the flagellated layer also formation. The flagella also occurs as a movement, and the macromeus, plastocele, micromeus, everything also present in the amphiblastola larva. There are 2 type of larva is present in the ascan sponge. Next. The parenchymal larva, the life history of the Leucosolania, it is identified by some of the scientists. The fertilizations also occurs in the internal fertilization. Cleavage is also xyloplastula and hollow cavity is covered by the layer of the cells. Next. Amphiblastola larva, just we have known of the micro, already I have to explain the micromeus and macromeus and osculum, everything also present, and metamorphosis also undergoing in the amphiblastola larva. That is a conclusion. These slides we have to know about the conclusion. What are the matter we have to learn about this module? Normally invertebrates is a indicator species and monitor the ecological changes. Why we study about these ones? That is a very important. You know very well about. Normally all the species organism is a biological indicator. The organisms occurs in the particular places. A healthy environment is noted. All the organism living. Without the organism is not living, we are also not living in that place. It is not good that place. So just we have to keep it, the environment is healthy and health integrity, and evaluate the habitat restoration and evaluate the effect of the pollution and contamination. Just we have to follow the without contamination of the water, we have to conserve of the nature and animals also. Thank you guys. Next.